Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new video, the first video of 2019. We did a couple of live streams, and this is sort of the time lapse of the overall progress we did during those live streams. And I worked a little bit on this piece in the end off stream as well. So I hadn't painted for quite some time over the holidays. I didn't do much. So it was kind of hard for me to get back into it. I realized I really need to keep practicing. I need to keep painting because once you stop doing it for a while, it kind of gets hard to to get back to it. Well, it wasn't hard to get back to painting, but it was a little bit harder to paint, I guess. It took me a while to get adjusted again to the painting process, but I enjoyed it a lot. So hopefully there will be quite some more content in the future. But it will probably take a couple of months before we sort of can ramp up the channel again to some decent content output. This is due to some real life stuff, but hopefully that will get sorted out soon, and then I can not really go back. I can finally start to sort of put some energy and some time into the channel. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for more content during 2019, and hopefully this will be a great year to sort of really start growing the channel and really start working on some cool paintings. So I started with two sketches. I decided to sort of leave out the sketching that I did on the bottom one because in the end I only continue working on the top one. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just leave that out. It is in a live stream somewhere on the channel, so if you're really curious about that one, you can check this out. So here I cut out the painting that we're working on. I put some textures down because I liked the idea, I liked the composition of it, but I really felt that it was kind of empty and the contrast and the colors were a bit off. And I did what I usually do in those situations. I browsed through my pictures and throw some textures on and see if I can get some really cool vibes going on, and to see if there is anything I want this painting to look like. And I found some really interesting textures which I thought I could work with. So that's what I did. For the rest, I think it's only painting from now on. I don't recall me using any more. No, I think this was all of the textures that we used. So no textures in the end, just painting from now on. So let me take a sip of coffee. So yeah, what do we want to talk about during this painting? I haven't I haven't really made a script or anything. I usually just ramble about. I probably that's also a plan for 2019. Work on the quality of the content. Make better edited videos with probably a nice script, but let me know in the comment sections below what you guys prefer. Do you prefer a sort of a scripted video? Because I think in the end the overall pacing will probably be better. And something else I want to try is you can in Photoshop you can open two windows with your current piece, and you can work in one window and sort of the work shows up in the other window. I think I want to try that for my next video, or maybe the live stream, or see if that works, because now you see me zooming in and panning over the painting quite a bit, but then I can just make the painting sort of the size of the window, and then you don't have this panning around, this zooming in and out. The downside of that is if I'm working in detail like I'm doing right now, it may not be very visible what I'm working on. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out and see if that works. If not, we'll keep it like this. Usually the panning around and the zooming isn't really that much of a problem, but because I sped up this video, because the original piece took I think 3.5 hours or something like that, this is sped up to a total of 20 minutes. The end. There is some cutouts, but not that much. So everything is sped up quite a bit. So the zooming action and the panning around action is also sped up quite a bit, and I feel that sometimes that can be quite annoying to watch. So that's something from a sort of a quality of life, I don't know, a quality of production I want to sort of start working on this year as well, instead of just putting out those videos and don't bother too much with the editing and stuff like that. I want to get into the editing a little bit more and make the quality a little bit higher. So let me try to talk a little bit more about the piece, because I haven't really talked about it that much. As you can see, this is a fantasy landscape, a sort of mushroom type landscape. I've done some sort of a landscape like this before. It was a little bit different, but I really like mushrooms for some reason. Not to eat them, to eat them as well, but few of good ones. What was I going to say? Yeah, this is so yeah, in the first sketch I did during a live stream, sort of to get back into the painting, and then I saw the really rough painting of the mushroom landscape, and I thought, you know what, I like the idea. I don't really dig the colors yet, but I can make something out of it. As you can see, that was sort of the comparison between the first sketch and the painting that we have now. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna work on it and throw some textures on it, and then we can make it cool, I think. So that's what I did. I just did it during 2 live streams, I believe. And after that, I worked on it a bit on my own. What? I don't have that much stuff to talk about, really. Actually, I can ramble for like half an hour, but I had some stuff written down. Oh yeah, the technical aspects of this painting. The thumbnail, not really a thumbnail, the sketch was 4,000 pixels wide. I don't know the height. A little bit less even. I think it was like 3,500 pixels wide in the end, this painting. And I didn't really realize it until I started to size it down for the thumbnail for the video and stuff like that. And then I thought, you know what, I should have noticed this, because I had some issues struggling with my brush, that my brush really didn't look right, especially the really small brushes. If you get really small with your brush, here I used some more texture, I believe. Sure. If you use really small brushes, smaller your painting is, the more difficult sort of it becomes to work with small brushes. So the way to fix that is just to size up your painting, because then for instance, if you make your painting twice as big, a 10 pixel brush becomes a 20 pixel brush, or you can use the same brushstroke with a 20 pixel brush. So you have a lot more control when your painting is bigger. And usually I size them up to about 8 to 10,000 pixels wide. But for some reason I really didn't think of it, and I just struggled with the small brushes. So that's really a takeaway from this. If you want to work in detail, I mean, for the big broad brush strokes it doesn't really matter, but if you really want to work in detail and use some tiny highlights and things like that, bigger is better, as in a bigger canvas is better, because it gives you more control. So that's really something I should keep in mind for future paintings. I think at this point the overall painting, the design was established in a couple of minutes. Yeah, in real time, it was about half an hour, I think. And now it's just detailing, and I decided to spend a lot of time detailing on this painting because I thought this painting is really cool. It deserves it. So yeah, here you see me do a little bit of design because I didn't really like that mushroom. In the end, I will get rid of it because I don't know, it just sticks out in a weird place. But I really thought, you know what, I'm gonna really use this piece to use a lot of details, to work on the details a lot more, because that's something I do. I usually keep my paintings fairly rough. I like rough paintings, but sometimes it's just better to work for just that, for just an hour, one more hour onto your painting to make it just that little bit better. So that was my plan here. Just work a little bit longer on it. Try to work as long as possible on it, and I think in the end I could have worked even longer on it. But at a certain point, you gotta stop and think. You know what? Is it gonna be a lot? How much better is it gonna be if I continue another hour or two on this painting? So I think I stopped at a decent point at the end. So yeah, and I really enjoyed it to take a painting to such a finished level, and that is really a motivator to do that more in the future. It takes quite a bit of time. So if I want to do one painting during one live stream, it's got to be a really long live stream, or I have to spread it out over different live streams. And hopefully later this year, or we can do live streams that are long enough that I can do one painting during that stream. But we'll see. That's future plans. Is to do sort of at least one, but maybe probably two live streams a week, and then do one or two paintings a week during those live streams. And then you just these time lapses, and maybe some sort of thematic videos, like I did last year with the thumbnail a day. I kind of want to continue that, but I also want to focus on finishing pieces rather than just generating thumbnails, because generating thumbnails is really cool, and I think it's really important. But it's also important to use those ideas and transfer those ideas into paintings. Here you see me I used a new layer to sort of get rid of that mushroom, and I decided to leave it for a little bit and see whether I wanted it gone or I wanted it back. Because I used a new layer, I could always get it back easily. But in the end, I decided it had to go. So yeah, but I kind of want to do some stuff every week or every month, sort of recurring theme. Maybe something with creatures. I haven't done much creatures yet, and I kind of want to get into them. So maybe I will do a monthly creature painting, something like that. And later in the year, I also want to get working on characters, because that's really something that I'm not comfortable with yet. But I really want to get comfortable with painting characters. So I probably will never be a perfect sort of character designer, but I want to be at least able to sort of design a couple of characters, and when I put sort of people in my paintings, I want them to look semi-accurate at least. So yeah, that's also a plan for this year. You see me sort of starting the smaller details in the paintings, the painting, and I really like this phase because it just adds that extra layer of an extra layer of detail. It's literally an extra layer of detail, and I don't know, it just makes the painting that much more alive. It comes just a little bit, has that little bit extra to it, and I really like that. I really like those vines. I use them probably way too much during the painting, or not enough. It's things like that. You gotta go all in, I guess. With those, you can't just put 2 or 3 down. If you're gonna put those down, you're gonna have to do it a lot, I think, to make it look consistent and part of that environment, that particular environment. So that's why I used quite a bit of those. Let me see, how far are we into the about 15 minutes in, I guess. I can see that somewhere here. Yeah, already 16 minutes. So we got about 4 minutes left. So in the end, it kind of worked out, rambling over the entire thing. So that's cool. So to sort of reiterate a few points, I think a summary is probably into place. This is of course a new year. Well, the year is it's already been 3 weeks, but we want to I want to grow the channel to something really cool where I can learn and we can learn together. I got some plans to sort of expand that, but that's gonna take some time. It's not that next week everything is on rails and we can go from there. No, it's probably gonna take quite a bit of time. I hope you don't mind, but I think it's better to take a bit of time with it than to rush it and get burned out or do it wrong. So I want to take the time with this. I want to think this through, and the goal is that there is more content, more consistent content, more live streams, probably more videos as well, and just a better overall schedule than that there is now. And hopefully that will sort of come together in a couple of months. Well, that's the plan at least. Yeah, and I will just keep painting, and it's gonna everything, fantasy, sci-fi, stuff like that. I really like it, and hopefully characters and creatures as well. If you looked careful, you saw me sort of skip a bit in the progress of the painting. That's because I painted a little bit without recording. So if you thought it's a little bit more detailed than it was before, yeah, that's because there was a bit of painting without recording. Sorry for that. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it so far, and I hope that you will continue to enjoy it. I certainly did. This was a good painting, and I hope I can make more paintings in the near future. Well, we'll start this week with some new stuff. There will probably be a live stream either Wednesday or Friday or both. We'll see, this week at least. And yeah, we will continue with we'll continue with painting, but we'll start a new adventure. I don't know yet what it's gonna be, but I got some plans, but I have to figure that out if that's gonna work, yes or no. So yeah, it's just me, the finishing touches on the painting, and thank you for watching, I guess, and I hope to see you during the live streams and in the next video. Make sure that if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel and you enjoy the content, press that button. It's free. It's not that I'm not a teacher or anything. I don't do courses or whatever. It's just me, my journey to become a better painter, a better artist. It's probably gonna be more art content, related art content on the channel, not necessarily painting. I got some ideas for that as well, but that's probably gonna take quite a while before that will be on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!